David? Okay. Hold on. Chrome. Share. Okay, so this is our first one, or our main one. This is going to be the app gallery, so where we show off the apps themselves. We want to. Some of the problems that we're going to run into is I'm a student and I want everybody to know what my app can do and what I can do, but I got nowhere to put it. So this is going to hold your app, and it's going to put it on display for anyone that's interested in your work to be able to see it. I also, or the user, I'm a tech addict and I want to know about it before it's popular. So I like to scout apps that aren't 5 stars, 10,000 downloads on the Apple Store. I want to find, unique things that makes me stand out from the crowd, perhaps, or catches my attention. So the solution is a gallery, and it's easily accessible for students to submit, to add a project. And then it depends to the admins if it's good enough, if it's got all the requirements for it to actually be displayed. Their marketing messages: show it off, get back, and get hired. Technical objectives. We want to display it in a grid format, so it needs to be easily scannable. It needs to follow like a same form factor, so you know where to look for specific sets of information. If you want to see the code, if you want to see the students, if you want to see the category, it should be cleanly displayed. The form for adding apps, as far as we have it now, it's the app description, the name, URL, display image, contributors, and a GitHub URL. The key results will be the number of student app submissions, so goal 15, number of clicks to the individual apps. So we need to make sure that it's getting traction and that things aren't getting buried. We're going to use Google Analytics and student feedback to make sure problems don't arise.
Okay. I'm going to add something here because typically people don't think along this track, and that is like you're building something that no one's using yet, right?
Correct.
It's building something we don't actually have we don't have an audience waiting to use it. We don't have people saying like chomping at the bit to say, hey, I need this app store done, right? And because of that, we're kind of launching into a green field, into like crickets potentially, right? So let's gauge the usability of it as well in the key results. And that is like, how long does it take for someone to submit an application, right? What's the process? You're testing what you're building, not necessarily the growth of it, but you're also testing the functionality of it. So there's a goal. How long does it take for someone to create or to submit a project, right? And maybe we want someone in under 5 minutes to be able to submit a project. Or maybe we want it to average about 30 minutes to submit a project if it's like a really in-depth thing. I don't think that's best right now for simple, but think along those terms of like, how can we measure that we delivered what we intended to deliver, and that we're delivering on the objective to provide the students a way to submit their product. Does that make sense?
Yeah. We want to simplify it so it's easily accessible.
Yeah, because there's kind of 2 parts here, right? The key results of the number of students, the app submissions, number of click-throughs, that's kind of its performance, and that's great. That's an absolute, like, how is it growing? Is it improving? Is it useful to people? But we can also measure quantifying the actual usage or the actual like interactions, I should say. So add a couple items like that, and we can figure out a way to track them.
Okay. You want me to add them now, or you want me to hold off?
We can add them right after the meeting.
Okay.
Right now, yeah.
All right. So let me break that down. Give me one second.
Yeah, if you need to make a note, that's fine.
I'm making notes too, if you want me to just pass it.
Oh, okay. All right. Fantastic. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, so that's pretty much it for the app gallery. I mean, the technical research, we are looking into what's the best way to hold the images that are going to display. We really talked about and wanted to emphasize that the pictures are large enough so you can kind of get like a good grasp of what the app looks like, because I think visuals sell. So does the description, but people are going to look right at the picture first and like, does this look colorful? Does this catch my eye? So we're thinking of using Cloudinary, but Firebase was also thrown in the mix. So that's research we got to do.
Okay. What you're saying right there, David, you're saying lots of good things, and I just want to see that in the document.
Okay.
Like you're obviously doing the research. We just need to document it so that an easy way to think of this feature canvas is just it's like an anchor for you as a team. Like, right? You guys want to build this thing and you want to make it awesome. This feature canvas is a way for you to anchor yourselves and keep yourselves grounded as you build it over the next week and a half, right? Or 2 weeks. You've got so many ways for features to deviate, for feature creep to set in, for, oh, hey, it'd be cool if we did X, right? There's so many tools out there that will pull you in those directions as well, that having a documented feature canvas keeps you anchored to a core of what we're doing, so that if Jeff starts building some crazy React interaction, David can say, hey, wait, look at this. Let's look at our solution, what we spelled out. That's deviating. Let's come back to make sure that we deliver on par, right? And while I'm talking about the solution, I'm just going to point out we probably want to take most of what's under technical objectives and slide it up under solution, because the solution kind of spells out what's going to be delivered. So if you were to take this feature canvas to a stakeholder, they would look at the solution block and say like, oh, okay, this is what I'm going to expect to be delivered in 2 weeks, right? It's just a high level, sort of through words, what your product or your feature set is going to look like at the end of this period of time, where we want to get something back to them to test out, see how it works, see what's good, what's bad, whatever. And that's what that solution block is going to be, is spelling that out. So a little bit more detail. Some of it's going to come from your technical objectives area, slide that up there. But a little bit spell out like, what's the gallery view? Should they be able to paginate a little bit, or like, is it going to be just general experience of the product? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Holdy, add in there if I'm going off base or anything.
No, I think you're right. So, like what you've got listed as technical objectives are part of the app delivery. What would go in a technical objectives section is if there was like, as a build-on product, if you were trying to specifically affect something that was technically related, like if you wanted to support more than one image storage format or size or something, you'd put that as a technical objective, right? We want to be able to support multiple image resolutions being stored on our system. Or if there was like some performance issue, like if you had some page that was taking a really long time to load, you would have a technical objective to like get the load time reduced by X amount or whatever. That's kind of what would go in a technical objective section. But yeah, like Alex said, like a lot of what you already have in there is kind of solution. So,
okay.
That's great. Command X, Command V kind of a thing. Like you've got to fix, right? It's like not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's really good clarification, actually.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, sorry, Alex. I was going to keep going. I liked your key results section. As you stack these canvases together, like having your analytics deployed right away, and especially Alex pointed out earlier, this is a greenfield project, right? Like we're going to go from 0 to some number of usage. So once you have like anchors of what your traffic is like, you'll want to add key results for your second and third feature releases that will take that in consideration. So, as you release a new feature, you might want to say something like, increase daily active users by some amount or some number or something like that would be a really great key result objective.
Okay.
So is it fair to say that technical objectives, for clarification, are features that aren't always user facing, but that are important from a tech standpoint?
Sometimes they can be user facing, like my example of supporting different image size and resolution formats or processing or something like that would be that would be a user-facing feature, but it's very much a technical objective. It's mainly just like, yeah, yeah. Technical objectives would mainly be like changing the underlying technology or adding the underlying technology in a way that enhances like a user experience that may or may not be necessarily new, right? It's just like it's not like a new feature. It's just a technical enhancement for a existing feature.
Right, like feature canvases aren't always going to be a brand new project. Most of the time, like you think about right now, it's brand new, but next week or the week after, like you've got new features to add, you got improvements to add. Maybe the site's really slow, and users are hating how slow the site is. So our technical objective is for the site speed to be an enjoyable like experience, for it to be good and fast loading times, right? So then you would have a solution defined attached to that technical objective of we want all images to be overly optimized or render multiple versions of them based on the DPI of the device they're on or whatever it is. Like you can create a solution to that technical objective of performance, which is a really common one, just like Holdy's saying.
Okay. So changing or enhancing the tech for existing features and sometimes defining the tech for current or new.
Yeah, and just because there's a section on this field, like on this document,
doesn't mean it always has.
Yeah, they don't always have to be filled in, you know.
Cool. I just want to know so I can further.
Yeah, you can coach people in the future. Sure.
Yep.
All right. So up to the next feature canvas.
It's great.
Okay. So the next one is the Langdon page. I probably should have. Give me a second. So drawing it out, what is the Lambda App Store? Visitors want an easy way to see the best applications, so we need to make sure that within that grid that we created in the previous canvas, we're optimizing it for the projects that need to be seen, to be at the top of the stack, not at the bottom. Admins want a place to feature the best applications. Visitors want assurance that the Lambda App Store is it's not dead, that it's moving forward, that it's not just a site that someone bought the domain for and it's just sitting somewhere, and it's being used daily. I'll talk about the solutions in a bit. Visitors want to see visitors want to see new apps on the store. So again, adding to the previous point, visitors want to filter apps by topic. So if you are coming from landscaping, or if you're coming from music, or if you're coming, you're going to be able to find apps that directly matter to you. The solutions, trending, there's going to be a trending tab for the Lambda app section. Lambda app section for admins to add feature apps. So the admin is going to be able to accept app submissions and also empower the ones that they think are really good and should be shown off. There is going to be like an activity minified feed that shows update on projects and new projects approved. There's going to be an in development tab as well. So maybe for things that aren't completely fleshed out, but maybe you want to keep an eye, like you see an idea that catches your eye and you want to see where it goes, then maybe you can follow that through its process and see it from just an idea to a working product. New tab for apps that are added recently, and the topics tab filtered by topics. So marketing message. See, Mom, Lambda isn't a scam. And show off, give back, and get hired. And let's see, technical objectives. So these are not technical objectives, as you guys just explained. But trending tab pulls from the analytics and will show the most viewed apps. Lambda app section for admins to add feature apps and display. New tab will filter apps added in the last 7 days. And topic tab allows you to filter by topics, education, business, entertainment. Key
Let me
results.
stop you right here.
Yes.
Who on the team has used Google Analytics before?
No one.
No one, as far as I know here.
Oh, all right. It just you guys have. This is the first time I've seen like Google Analytics objectives in the key results column. So I had the feeling that somebody here might be a GA expert or something.
I think that might have come from a conversation with Josh.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
He mentioned it, and it just
Yep, it's from Joshua.
I love it.
Legs and walked all over the place.
I love it. I just I had not seen that before, so I wanted to know where it came from. But yeah, that definitely smells like a Josh thing. So.
So you're not GA experts yet. Give us a couple more weeks.
All right, Josh. I expect a class. We'll have you do the training.
And yeah, key results can collect and analyze usage data via Google Analytics, and bounce rate is less than 60%. Research, competitor feature research. How did the competitor solve the problem? Oh, that's not technical research. Learning how to use and integrate Stripe, although that's going to be one of our later things. And that's all we got for this one.
Cool. Again, just to emphasize, fill out the documentation. You want as much detail there. It's for your sake. It's less for us. Like, we're not just gonna like. It doesn't help us as much as it helps you deliver, right?
Okay.
And so you want all that research that you did, because you're gonna forget the amount of stuff that you will look through and learn and study. Some of it will stick, but a lot of it you're going to forget. And you're going to want to document the technical research, all the stuff you learned from competitor research, and especially talking to like stakeholder or potential customers. And in this case, you'll want to learn from the stakeholder what the potential customers will probably want. But that said, I got to jump off I got 7 minutes left, but I had a thought and I'm losing it. And so I talk about, you forget things. Oh, landing page. Okay. I feel like the landing page is being fluffed up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we need a lot of those features that are in the solution for this first iteration on it.
Okay.
In the fact that I think you could probably strip this down to the minimum, which is displaying the projects. And I don't know if that's covered, if that's covered completely in the app gallery. That's maybe some detail in the app gallery feature canvas that we might want. I'm just kind of exploring out loud here with you.
Yeah, there's actually a mock-up that they gave us. So we based our landing page off of that actual design. It's like the only one we have.
Oh, okay. That was the prototype mock-up in the document, right?
Yeah, it was that. So that's what we're basing the landing page. And then from there, we'll go to the gallery.
Is there any part of that landing page in, and I apologize for lack of context, but the app gallery, that's completely separate from the landing page, right?
That would be a different page, I believe.
Okay, because a lot of them are going to use the same resources on the back end as far as like fetching a list of all the projects, and there's going to be a lot of overlap there. So I'm wondering if one of them is going to end up being really simple because of that, right? Like if you build out the app gallery, then you could probably get the landing page done really fast. But only fast if you don't implement entire like trending tabs, search options, activity feeds, and those are the features that you'll notice blow up real fast, like activity feeds and things.
Mm-hmm.
That can blow up into a lot of work, and you might not need it right away, and you can deliver something more quickly without it, and then you can add that later as an enhancement, right?
Yeah, that's also. I just don't want to. Maybe we're seeing like different visions of it. I don't want to recreate the gallery page as a front page as well. Like they gotta.
Right. So take whatever I'm saying with a grain of salt because I'm speaking from out of context, but those are just some initial like thoughts popping into my head.
I understand your concerns there. The reason we fluffed out like a landing page into a whole feature canvas, like it's a landing page, it shouldn't be like an about page, or that's normally what it is.
Uh-huh.
But I know Holdy mentioned it too.
Features there, right?
Yeah, the prototype that we were given is absolutely beautiful, and it would be an amazing first experience for a user. Like, I wouldn't see a high chance of someone like jumping on it and saying, "Oh, get out of here." like it's a really good mock-up, and functionality is a big part of it.
Okay.
So like this is a really fluffed up landing page. You're
Then
right.
if that's the goal, then that needs to be it. So then that's absolutely right and correct.
Right. Okay, just want to clear that up.
That's good.
All right, on to the next one. The user dashboard. So the problem for students, as a student, I want to have a central location for all apps that I have contributed. So anything I have uploaded, I can quickly reference and view them. As a student, I want to be able to mark apps as ready for review, so an admin can get approval for an app. So I can technically upload one, but it doesn't automatically go to review for an admin to post right away. Maybe I can work on it over the course of a week or 2 weeks while I polish it. Admins. As an admin, I want to be able to view and moderate apps submitted for review, so I can make sure all apps are production ready. Make sure nothing like weird gets in there and we're not displaying to a lot of people some weird posts. As an admin, I want to be able to change the user's role, so I can limit access to features based on role given. So I can create more admins or demote admins to students or promote students to admins. And as an admin, I want to feature landing page, feature section, so I can curate the best we have to offer. So we can fluff that front page even more. Solutions, user students get to register and log in. App dashboard page for each contributing student to view their apps. Default status for every app is unapproved. That way they won't show in the gallery. Admin view for all unapproved apps as a ready for review section. And admin view for all apps with a feature button. Marketing message. Don't dig any deeper for your apps. Find them in your student dashboard and view and moderate projects from one place as an admin. So not technical, I think most of these. Users, yeah, I don't think, I'm just gonna skip over the technical. Key results, can collect and analyze user data via Google Analytics, number of student submission approved, number of student submission denied, and highest quality apps only. So in the mock-up, it said something like, we only show 20% of the apps submitted. I obviously, we're probably going to take that out until we get way more submissions. But we do want it to be like an elite thing, at least the featured.
Don't want to just show one app if we have 5 in there?
Yeah, not at the beginning. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to go there and create 5 amazing apps.
Alex, for our next round, let's go write this down somewhere.
Yeah.
For the next iteration of this app, let's make that 20% like geolocated from the user's location to be students that are just the closest to the.
That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah. I was having dreams last night about this app store.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is like, I think I told you this the other day, guys, but like this is the app that the Lambda staff cares about the most.
Yeah.
So
don't screw it up. No,
no pressure.
Screw it up.
No, but what's
Lambda student
cool
access has been revoked. What the?
This is actually so cool for you guys because you're going to work on this, right? And you're going to write the code. You're going to build a lot of the foundation, and you're going to write some really crappy code, and it's going to be awesome. Because a year from now, from what it's going to become is going to be based on everything that you've done, right? Like you've built the backbone, the starting point of this, and you can say, hey, yeah, you know the Lambda App Store that everybody uses, or that all these businesses are using apps from? Yeah, I started that. Like I created the foundation of that project, and that's going to be huge.
And that's something I think we've all as a team kind of agreed to focus on, is like creating a really good foundation. If we can't get anything else done, we want a really freaking good code base.
Yeah.
Just modern standards. We're using hooks. We're going to get really into like good code here. As much as we can. Obviously you learn as you go, and you look back on code 3 months ago and you say, that's crap. That was
absolutely.
But we're really going to be striving for a really well done code base, and obviously that's not a feature canvas, but in terms of our feature canvases, we want like a really good flow and design, like something that can be easily accessible and added on to in the future by following teams. Like we want this to be a project that's easily iterated on. Essentially.
Yeah.
We won't be able to build what Lambda wants in the end in 6 weeks, but we will be able to build our piece of that, and we want that piece to be good, very good.
Awesome. I got to bounce off real fast to another team. Holdy, you good to hang
I got
on?
it from here. Okay.
The last note I just want to leave is remember that this is your work feature set. This is your work anchor. This is what you should be confident that this defines what you're going to do. And so you should look at this and say, yeah, I know exactly what we're going to do for this round and of 2 weeks. Use that as your defining point. And if you still have questions, if you look at this and you're like, I actually don't know what I'm going to be doing next Friday, spell more detail out. Like, figure it out for yourselves to be able to deliver, and that's it. Okay. Thanks, you guys. I'll catch you later.
Thank you.
All right, see you, Alex.
All right. So I guess we'll hop on to the last one, which is the subscription. So essentially we'll have some free apps, some premium apps, and a user will not be satisfied with just the free version. A solution is for a user to pay a subscription to get access to all of the premium apps, any and all, if you want to download all of them. User gains full access to premium apps and marketing message. 1 payment, 6 apps. And tech junkies rejoice.
Yeah.
So
This feature right here, guys, this is the real, like, lay the foundation for the future of the app. Because you not only have to do, like, you have to build a subscription service, but you have to build some kind of external public-facing API that other student project groups can interface with that will check to see if their user has premium access and then like grant them premium access. So this is like this is it. Like this is the real like money ball for the Lambda App Store. The secret's going to be like getting all that other stuff out of the way so you can really work on this one, because this is the cool thing to do.
Yeah, and we were super excited about working on this.
Mm-hmm.
But like Jeff said, like we really want to make sure that whoever inherits this, like for example, we were originally just working off of the code base of the higher Lambda students, and we saw like, at least I saw like 600 lines of raw SQL, and I'm like, all right, if somebody else is going to work on this after me, I want to make sure that it's amazing, that they look at it and they know exactly what's going on. So we're going to focus on making it pretty and making it just easy to understand as a developer and as a user. So that's why this is one of our last slides.
Yeah.
So that's where our focus is, but we haven't forgotten about this. We did our research. We know what technologies we'd like to use. But as you can see, this one's not quite as filled out as the other ones.
Right. Yeah, I would expect this to be the last one, and I would expect this to be I mean, you do kind of have to have a couple of other things in place before you could even start working on this. When the time comes for like this to be on deck, I want to sit down and meet with you guys for like a good long time. Like CJ, let's book like an hour with them when they're about to kick off this feature, because there's just a lot that goes into like building a public-facing API and documenting a public-facing API that is kind of like advanced level like engineering and stuff. And I want to really like spend some time talking to you guys about like that strategy, that philosophy. This happens to be like the area of engineering that I've spent most of my career doing. It's like designing APIs and working on integrations and stuff like that. So it's like a really fun thing for me to geek out about. But also like if we do this really, really well, like this is going to absolutely floor people in job interviews when you're like telling them about projects you work on. And you're like, yeah, oh yeah. So we built this Lambda App Store where like all the other students were like integrating with our identity solution so that we could have like one subscription that grant access to all these other apps. So we built this public facing API to like handle payments and, like subscriptions, like people are going to eat that up in job interviews. And I want to make sure that that's like nailed so that you guys can just like go dunk on interviewers and like start bidding wars and all the fun stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great to me.
So that's my plan. I think you guys are on the right track with these other feature canvases. That first one or whatever one we have on deck first, was that where we're starting with the landing page, right?
We're starting with the app gallery.
Oh, okay. All right. So you got some good feedback from Alex, like just from like a product perspective. It feels like there's a couple of things that might need to be just like refactored or edited on this canvas to just shift it around and like unify everybody's vision.
Yep.
When you've got that like done, let's have Alex take another pass at it. But don't worry about the other three. Just worry about this one that's up next.
Okay.
But yeah, take some of his feedback, refactor this a little bit. CJ will book like a really quick, like 5-10 minutes with Alex just to go over it again. And then you guys will be good to start work. And I'm serious, like try to hustle through these first couple so that we can get to the fun one.
Okay.
I want to come write some code with you guys. So, yeah, I think you're off to the right track. Everything's good. CJ, just give them some time to go like edit this first one and then book some time with them and Alex to just get the green light to get started.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. Yep.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Good talk.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Ryan.